Deputy Riker swings his clippers with smug authority as Judge Monroe approaches his checkpoint. He sees only a black woman to humiliate, not the respected judge who will preside over today's police corruption hearing. Every snip of her hair feeds his power trip. Every fallen lock fuels the coming storm. Phones emerge, recording his abuse. "My courthouse, my rules," he snarls, unaware that social media is already exploding with "Hatter justice for judge." Stick around to witness how quickly a tyrant falls when the world sees what happens behind courthouse doors. His badge won't shield him now. And hey, tell us where you're watching from and what time. Drop it in the comments below. The fluorescent lights of the courthouse screening room flicker, casting harsh shadows across Deputy Hank Riker's weathered face. His fingers trace the contours of his badge, 15 years of power condensed into a single metal shield. The electric clippers hum in his other hand, a familiar tool of his trade, of his control. "Next!" Riker's voice booms across the marble hallway, his eyes fixed on Judge Celeste Monroe's approaching figure. Her elegant judicial robe, her confident stride, they mock his authority. His jaw clenches. She thinks she's untouchable. The security cameras whir overhead as Monroe reaches the checkpoint. Riker's heart pounds against his ribs, years of unchallenged dominance fueling each beat. "Standard security check, Your Honor." The words drip with contempt as he emphasizes her title. "I've been a judge here for 20 years, Deputy Riker." Monroe's voice carries quiet dignity. Riker's grip tightens on the clippers. "New protocol. My checkpoint, my rules." The clippers spring to life with a menacing buzz. "Your hair could be concealing contraband. It needs to go." Phones emerge from the gathering crowd of courthouse staff and visitors. The air grows thick with tension as Riker steps closer, invading Monroe's space. "Unless you'd prefer to be denied entry to your own courtroom." Monroe's eyes meet his, unflinching. Something in that gaze, defiance, perhaps, sends an unfamiliar shiver down his spine, but he pushes it aside, letting 15 years of unchecked authority guide his hand. The clippers make contact, dark locks fall to the floor. Each cut feels like a victory, a reminder of his dominance. The courthouse is his kingdom, has been since he first pinned on the badge. Nobody questions Deputy Hank Riker. "Stop this immediately!" A voice cuts through the humiliation. District Attorney Michael Chen stands at the entrance, phone raised. "Judge Monroe is presiding over the police corruption hearing in 10 minutes. Riker's hand falters, but doesn't stop. On TikTok and Twitter, #justice. For Judge explodes within minutes. The cameras capture everything. The fallen hair, Monroe's dignified silence, Riker's twisted smile. Later, alone in the security office, Riker polishes his badge with trembling fingers. The metal catches the light, reflecting a face he barely recognizes. His father's words echo from decades ago. "Power is respect, boy. Take it before they take you." But as #justice. For Judge Trends nationwide, a new question burns in his mind. What happens when that power starts to crack? Type "power" in the comments if you've ever witnessed authority turn toxic. Has unchecked control ever touched your life? The security cameras continue their silent watch, recording the moment a kingdom begins to crumble. The question hangs heavy in the air. How far will Deputy Hank Riker fall when his shield of authority finally shatters? Riker clips his badge back on, ignoring the first whispers of doubt. but Monroe's unwavering gaze haunts him, a preview of the storm to come. The leather of my chair creaks as I scroll through my inbox, each notification hitting like a hammer blow. 12 complaints, 12 voices I'd silenced over the years, now screaming from every corner of the internet. My kingdom, built on 20 years of courthouse control, threatening to crumble in mere hours. Just another entitled brat making noise, I mutter, but my reflection in the polished shield pinned to my chest tells a different story. Fear, raw and unfamiliar, crawling up my spine as I watch the view count climb. 50,000, 100,000. The same scene, over and over, me, towering over that lawyer, my voice a weapon I'd wielded without thought. The corridor outside falls silent as I emerge. Where yesterday they'd scattered like pigeons, today they watch. Judge Mahoney, my rock, my shield for 2 decades, hurries past, his eyes fixed on his phone. "Frank!" I call out, my voice echoing too loudly. He doesn't stop. My fingers tremble as I type another email to a T. Security concern. Remove immediately. Delete. Legal liability. Delete. Please. The word tastes like ash. A notification pings. Someone's compiled a thread. Every complaint I buried, every misunderstanding, Judge Mahoney helped smooth over. Mrs. Chen from 2019, backed against the metal detector. Thompson, that public defender whose briefcase I accidentally knocked down the stairs. Each story a brick in the wall of my power, now transformed into evidence of my shame. This will blow over, I whisper to my empty office. But the words ring hollow. My shield catches the fluorescent light. And for a moment, I'm back in the academy, my father's voice sharp in my memory. Power isn't given, son. You take it. You keep it. Whatever it takes. I unpin the shield, its weight suddenly unbearable. The surface, once mirror bright, shows countless tiny scratches, each one a moment I chose force over fairness, control over compassion. The hashtag, Riker Reign trends higher, a digital noose tightening with every share. Outside my window, protesters gather. Their signs flash my name like accusations. My phone buzzes. The chief of security. We need to talk about your position, Hank. The same voice that promoted me, now heavy with regret. Have you ever watched your world unravel, thread by thread? Seen your certainties dissolve like smoke? Drop A if you've witnessed power crumble. The complaints keep surfacing, each one worse than the last. A young intern's tearful statement about missing evidence, a janitor's recording of my late-night threats. The system I'd corrupted now turns its gears against me, and for the first time in 20 years, I feel the true weight of my shield, not as a symbol of authority, but as a burden of accountability. My secretary's desk sits empty. Even she, who witnessed it all, has abandoned ship. On her computer screen, a news headline glares. Courthouse tyrant exposed, 2 decades of abuse uncovered. The word tyrant strikes like a physical blow. Is that what I've become? The viral video plays again on someone's phone as they pass my office. My voice, distorted by rage, echoes back to me. Nobody crosses me in my courthouse! My courthouse. The delusion of that statement hits me now as my empire of fear begins to collapse. Judge Mahoney finally answers my call. I can't help you, Hank. The Oversight Committee. He pauses, and 20 years of complicity hang in the silence. We were wrong. All of it was wrong. The line goes dead. I slump in my chair, the shield cold in my hands, as notifications continue to flood my screen. Each ping another nail in the coffin of my career, my reputation, my power. The truth I've hidden from myself stands naked now. I'm not the protector I pretended to be. I'm the threat they needed protection from. Type power falls if you've ever seen justice catch up to those who abuse their authority. A phone buzzes violently against mahogany, each vibration like thunder in Hank Riker's skull. His corner office, once a fortress of authority, now feels like a cage closing in. The security feeds on his monitor play in an endless loop. His confrontation with Judge Monroe from every angle. Some bystanders' shaky phone footage has exploded across social media. #RikerFalls is trending, and his hands won't stop trembling. "Chief wants to see you immediately," his secretary's voice crackles through the intercom. She doesn't use "sir" anymore. The respect is already evaporating. Riker's fingers brush his shield, the same shield he'd polished this morning with such pride. Now it feels like it's burning through his uniform. 23 years of power, of making people shrink away when he walked the courthouse halls, all unraveling in hours. His phone lights up again. CNN, the Washington Post, local stations, each notification like another nail in his coffin. The message preview makes his throat close. Multiple courthouse employees come forward with allegations against Senior Security Officer Riker. The security cameras had caught everything. His threats, his intimidation. Not just today with Judge Monroe, years of it. The footage they're sharing shows a pattern he'd never thought would surface. In one clip, he's backing a young lawyer into a corner. In another, he's blocking a witness from entering a courtroom. Each video worse than the last. "Have you ever watched your whole world unravel in hours?" Riker whispers to his reflection in the window, seeing not the powerful man of this morning, but something smaller, desperate. When every shadow holds a phone camera, every colleague a potential witness. The courthouse corridors he once stalked like a lion now feel like a maze with no exit. Officers who used to snap to attention now find reasons to look away. Even Thompson, his partner of 15 years, walked past without acknowledgement. His phone chirps again, a text from his daughter. "Dad, what did you do? It's all over TikTok." The shield weighs heavier against his chest with each passing minute. Once a symbol of absolute authority, now it feels like a target. Judge Monroe's words from their confrontation echo. "The law protects everyone, Officer Riker, even from men like you." He'd laughed then. He's not laughing now. The chief's office looms ahead. Through the glass, Riker sees internal affairs investigators. They're reviewing tablets, more footage, more complaints, more evidence of his reign of intimidation. His empire isn't just crumbling, it's being demolished, brick by brick, tweet by tweet, video by video. Each notification on his phone, another explosion in the foundation. Type karma if you've ever seen a bully's power crumble, flashes across one viral video of his morning confrontation. The comments are flooding in by the thousands. Riker clutches his shield, the metal cold against his palm. The weight of it threatens to drag him down into the abyss of consequences he never thought would come. Have you ever seen justice catch up to someone who thought they were untouchable? Drop a below and share this story. A heavy door creaks open as Hank Riker strides into courtroom 237, his boots echoing against marble floors that once felt like his kingdom. His fingers trace the shield on his chest, the same badge he'd polished this morning, when the world still bent to his will. The bailiff's voice cracks through the tension. "All rise for the Honorable Judge Monroe." Riker's jaw clenches. Hours ago, he'd sneered in her face, claimed this space as his domain. Now she ascends to the bench, her eyes cutting through him like steel through paper. His hands begin to shake, though he fights to still them. "Security Officer Riker." Her voice carries the weight of thousands watching online, millions sharing. "Justice for Judge." The evidence before this court is overwhelming. The projector hums to life, and there it is. His moment of supreme arrogance, captured in crystal clarity. His own voice bounces off courthouse walls. "You don't belong here, Your Honor." The footage continues, showing him blocking her path, his badge thrust forward like a shield. Something crumbles inside him as the social media feeds scroll across the screen. His actions, dissected by millions. His power, evaporating in real time. "Officer Riker, remove your badge." His fingers fumble at the clasp. The shield, his shield, slips from trembling hands. The clatter echoes through the silent chamber, a metallic death knell to 2 decades of untouchable authority. Every phone in the gallery captures the moment, perfect fodder for tomorrow's headlines. "In light of your actions and the evidence presented," Judge Monroe's words blur as Riker watches his badge lie lifeless on the floor, security cameras whirring overhead, documenting his fall. The handcuffs click closed around his wrists, the sound he's inflicted on countless others now sealing his own fate. As he's led away, his reflection catches in the courtroom's glass doors. A man stripped of power, authority dissolving like morning mist. Type, "Justice served," if you've witnessed power crumble to truth. In his holding cell, Riker stares at his empty hands. "I was supposed to be untouchable," he whispers to no one. "How did I become the villain in my own story?" Beyond the bars, phones light up with notifications. Hat Justice. For Judge climbs trending lists, his downfall immortalized in millions of shares, his empire of fear collapsed in less than 24 hours. Drop A if you believe karma finally caught up with Officer Riker. The security footage plays on loop on every news channel, his badge clattering to the floor, justice rising from its echo. Through the cold bars of his holding cell, Hank Riker stares at his trembling hands. Hands that just 24 hours ago had gripped his badge with such arrogant certainty. The harsh fluorescent lights cast unforgiving shadows across his face, now etched with the weight of consequence. "Former Security Officer Riker." The words from the TV mounted in the corner slice through him like shards of glass. His eyes fix on Judge Monroe, standing at the courthouse steps, her presence commanding the respect he'd tried to steal through force. The microphones catch every word of her reform announcement, each syllable hammering home his downfall. The badge, his shield, his symbol of untouchable power, lies sealed in an evidence bag on some detective's desk. He can still feel its phantom weight, but now it burns with shame instead of pride. A sob catches in his throat as the camera pans across the crowd gathering behind Monroe, their faces showing the same determination he'd tried to crush just yesterday. "I need to make a full statement," he tells the investigator sitting across from him, his voice cracking. The words pour out like a confession. "I thought the badge made me above the law. I thought—" He pauses, wiping his eyes. "I thought power meant never having to answer to anyone. But true authority, real justice, it's not about force, it's about responsibility." His voice breaks completely. "And I failed that responsibility completely." On the screen, Monroe unveils the Accountability in Authority Act, her voice strong and clear. "No one is above justice," she declares, and the crowd erupts in applause. The sound echoes down the corridor to Riker's cell, each cheer another reminder of his disgrace. The investigator slides a formal statement form across the table. Riker's hand shakes as he picks up the pen, but his writing is deliberate. I apologize to Judge Monroe, to every person I've wronged thinking my badge made me untouchable, and to the very institution of justice I was sworn to protect. A final pan of the courthouse cameras catches his empty security post, the spot where just yesterday he'd thought himself invincible. Now it stands as a monument to change, while he sits in a cell, stripped of everything but the truth he'd ignored for so long. Power without justice isn't authority, it's corruption. Drop A if justice finally prevailed. Share this story to remind everyone, no badge is above the law. In the evidence room, his badge catches the light one final time, no longer a shield of power, but a testament to justice's triumph over tyranny. The cell door clangs shut with finality, the sound echoing through the corridors like justice's final word. Type, "Justice wins" if you believe in accountability. Let's make justice overpower trend.